Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Josie. Today I'm doing a memorial for my daughter Cheryl Ann, who died in 1969 from muscular dystrophy. Now I did one of these last year and I seemed to get a really good response. I think because it shows strength in what a child her age. Now at that time, we didn't have internet. Cheryl was not exposed to things on TV that talked about religion. So everything that she said before she died didn't come from her subconscious mind that she heard from someone or TV. So I know that I got my strength from her. She was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy 6 months before she passed away. And sometimes children with muscular dystrophy, there are several different types. At that time, they really didn't say what type she had. But muscular dystrophy affects the muscles in the body. And your heart is a muscle. So it enlarged her heart and she actually died of congestive heart failure. And I had 9.5 years with precious little Cheryl, and she taught me so much about life. I don't understand how there is non-believers, but I guess if you don't open your heart and you've never been exposed to anything like this, and with my medical background, I also seen a lot of, I should say, unusual situations. People talking about seeing someone who had passed on. So I just want to tell you a little bit about her. When she was diagnosed, the doctors told me that she would never be able to ride a bicycle. She would never learn. She didn't have the strength. Excuse me. And my little girl was as stubborn and determined, I guess, as I am, because she says, "Mommy, I want to learn to ride my bicycle." And I said, "Well, how much do you want to learn to ride your bicycle?" And she said, "More than anything." So she would go outside, and we had training wheels on the bike. And she failed a lot of the times. She would come in and be disappointed. And this one time I said, "Now, how much again do you want to ride that bike?" And she said, "More than anything." And it was the most wonderful moment in my life, and I think in hers. She was able to ride that bike all by herself. And so that, I wanted to show you the determination, how our mind controls so much if we don't give up. Now, before she passed away, she was actually able to go to school until about the last 4 days of her life. And her feet became edematous. They were swollen, and because of her heart. And so doctor gave me some medication for her, because she had severe headaches too. And the night that she passed away, it was actually really late at night. I had tucked her in bed, and she would walk down the hall. She did this 3 different times, and she would stand in the doorway, and she would just talk and talk. And I remember I was actually in bed, and I remember listening to her talk and thinking, "Oh, I have to remember those things in the morning." They were things that I'd never heard of in my life. And so the 3rd time she did this, I said, "Well, come and get in bed with Mommy and Daddy," because she said she was very, very cold. But before she came and got in bed with us, she kept talking about angels. And one of the things that was just amazing that she said, she kept saying, "Mommy, can I still set the Christmas tree?" can I still set the Christmas tree? So apparently the angels had told Cheryl that, she was going with them. And it was just, and I knew, I believed before then that, heaven was real, God was real. I've always been a believer. But the only thing I could remember in the morning is what she said about angels and what she said about the Christmas tree. And the reason the Christmas tree the night before, my husband put it out on the porch because it was still wet. We lived in snow country in Idaho. And we couldn't set it when it was wet, so we were going to set it the next day. And Christmas meant the world to Cheryl. In fact, we would go to a church bazaar, and Cheryl would bring her own little money, and she would buy the family little gifts. So Christmas was so important to her. And she managed to wrap her gifts for everyone, and I did put them in under the tree even after she passed away, because Christmas was so special for her. So I just, like I said, the only thing I could remember in the morning was about angels and about the Christmas tree. And God left me with the memory that the things that Cheryl said were not for us on this earth to know until we got to the other side. And it just, throughout my life, this little girl has given me strength when there are times when, we all get discouraged and maybe we want to give up. And I think back at the strength that she had and the determination that she had, and it gives me strength. So I do these to honor her memory. She is buried in Idaho, and I don't get to visit her grave, but I have someone put flowers on her grave. But that really doesn't make me feel so bad, because I know she's not in there, she's in heaven. And so I guess the thing that has always bothered me the most is I think about, I wonder what she would have been like. She was 9.5 years old when she passed. She would be 59 if she was living right now. And I wonder if I would have had some grandkids from her and who she would have been married to. And so those are the things that I think a parent feels sad about, and besides missing them. But I know someday I will see her again. And so, like I said, not only in honoring her, I want to give some faith and some strength to people out there that are hurting. Excuse me. Every video I've done, when I get to about the end of it, I do the tears. But anyway, I hope you get something from this video. And I hope it helps you if you ever have to go through a loss. And I want to make another comment. I've had, and I know no matter what, losses are terrible. So I'm not playing them down. If you lose a spouse, you lose a relative, even a parent, they all hurt. But you really don't know the meaning of hurt until you lose a child that you've carried for 9 months. And because most parents think, And I've heard a lot of elderly people say, my children weren't supposed to die before me. So losing a child is the worst loss that you could ever have in this world. And I also do these because, like I said, besides honoring her, some of the little things that people get upset about and the drama in their life, it's not really important. At the end of the day, none of that is important. Just keep the faith, believe there is a Lord, there is God, and also there is heaven and there is hell, whether you want to believe that or not. So, like I said, I hope you get something from this, and I hope I haven't babbled too much. I've restarted this video at least 4 times. I do not even make notes regarding this video. It just comes to my mind what to say. So if I go on and on, I hope you forgive me. Like I said, this is just to honor my daughter and maybe give someone out there the strength. Just keep praying, keep your faith, and someday we will know the answers to everything that we've went through here on earth. So thank you for watching. And here is my little girl again. Her name was Cheryl Ann, and she was 9.5 years old, and she passed away with muscular dystrophy. And God bless you all. Keep safe, and bye, everyone.